Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you with another video. All right. So, you know, I'm very thankful that the Lord put me through something today that would humble me down again, kind of put me in a space sort of like where I was a couple weeks ago when I was really down. If you follow my therapy session, I'm going through something, but it's not. That's not what I'm here to talk about. I think that I'm grateful for the energy because it puts me in a position to provide this particular type of content. We're down, Lakers. We're down, but we're not out. You feel me? We're down, but we're not out. That's not normally something that I bring to the table. I'm the pessimist. I'm the guy telling you that everything is bad, it's doom and gloom, this, that, and the third. But I'm here to tell you that even if we are down 0-2, we have come too far to look at ourselves in the mirror and not be high on ourselves as we come into this basketball game. I respect the Denver Nuggets. They should be high on themselves too. They should feel great. They've won the game. They got their part of view. We're not in their locker room, and our point of view is not to even, you know what I mean? That's why I only said that to say I respect that they should have confidence too. But as for us, we've been through too much to start being down on ourselves. I was looking at Facebook just now, and I saw King James shooting free throws. I appreciate every single time of these games that he comes in 4 and 5 hours early with the cachet that he has as an NBA all-world superstar. You know, heck, beyond the NBA, of course, one of the greatest athletes to walk the earth. I appreciate how much he's putting in the year 20 and these playoffs for my team, especially since, you know, personally I am going through a lot and I want to see us win. I love seeing that effort in regards to that. Same with D'Lo after the game and Max Christie as well. These things will not be something we overlook in these playoffs when these guys really want to work on their craft and they really want to compete and build themselves up to be the best pros they can be for their teams and for their careers. And I just feel like I didn't like the energy that came LeBron's way all these years, not just recently, but all these years, the way they've done him. Even though I think he's been on board with a lot of it, benefiting from it some, you know, obviously financially, but still it plays a certain role on your psyche when people are picking apart everything you do, for better or for worse, I'd imagine. You know, I appreciate that he chose this organization. Same AD as well. I appreciate that AD forced his way here. Um, that he's tried to fight through injury. That he's took on a lot of brunt of punishment, mentally and physically. People saying he's soft and all this stuff, including myself. I don't know if this team's gonna be able to go out there and make us proud tonight. I don't know. But what I'm telling you is we've come too far to not be confident. We've come too far not to look Jokic in the eye and say, I'm ready for you. Even if we're missing a few things that made it so that we can win these two games. There's nothing on in our locker room that should make us feel like we can't overcome anything to come our way, including you. Including the Denver Nuggets, including the narrative that we're some bad guys that just get talked about too much and don't deserve it. All of these different narratives that they're trying to create to get in our heads and make us doubt ourselves. At the end of the day, we've been through too much. 2-10. LeBron James trying to get close to that scoring record and every single day of trying to get closer and closer. And he got there and overcame it, got past it and got injured. All these different things. We've come too far to not think that we're good enough to compete with this team, especially since we know they benefited from altitude and a lack of rest that we haven't received. I want our guys to be intentional on letting things go. Even if they lose the game tonight, you let it go and you get back out there and you play another game. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, there's nothing that we haven't gone through this year that hasn't tested us. And as I stand here before you, it ain't nothing that we've gone through that we ain't overcome just the same. And that's why I'm thankful that the heavens above brought me a tough circumstance from which to remind myself on this day so that I can remind my team that we are in a position to do spectacular things from within this disadvantage. And we put ourselves in this hole and we're going to get ourselves out of it with effort, with being intentional on being together, playing loose, being confident, picking your brother up off the floor just as quick as you would on the first day if you're trying to make the team. You do that today in the Western Conference Finals, even if he messed up the last play. That's the type of support that I want to see on the court tonight on my home floor. We're going to have the pleasure of probably having Jack Nicholson in the house. We got a bunch of stars in the house. It's going to be a big night, Western Conference Finals. Stars will be in the house. We're going to be inspired tonight to play well in front of them. We're going to be inspired to know that we have seen this team 2 games in a row, and we are fast learners, and we have confidence in our team's ability to learn and grow and identify things that need to be done and overcome different difficulty levels that may come against them. And quite honestly, we hadn't been tested like this against a team that has the continuity that they have, that's been together for a couple years, that's been healthy together for a whole year. We're coming up against them, and we still erased a 27-point lead that they had 11-point lead in the last game, and it only took a couple things that went in their favor that ultimately left them in a position to win. If we would have took care of those things, we too find ourselves in a position to be up in this series or tied in this series. So Denver has done a lot to impress me in regards to their ability to close games. On a stretch of basketball games, they're doing it. But at the end of the day, we've learned some hard lessons in regards to how we can close games. And I think we're a lot better at it based on the fact that we've been tested and failed a lot of times. So we know what it takes. We know what it takes. We know the mistakes that we made. You know what I mean? Not running through the turnstiles, dunking on the way out the door, as I like to say. We know how we like to run out these games. Remember how we did Memphis Game 6? Running out the door, wasn't close, and we didn't care because we were going to beat them because they got on our case. We need to do Mike Malone's team the same way. Nikola Jokic is a big man, but he's not stopping a single layup. Or maybe a couple, because he got Anthony Davis. He got Anthony Davis on the block, but Rui Hachimura hasn't had any trouble getting to the line. Or should I say getting to the rim? None. He has had no trouble getting to the rim. If we were to spam Rui Hachimura over and over again, I'm willing to bet that doesn't stop. I don't think it stops. I think he keeps on shooting the ball over their heads. I think he keeps on taking advantage in the mid-range. I think he keeps on being efficient from behind the arc. So we need to see the fruit, and not only starting this young fella, but letting him be much more a part of our offense, while keeping the balances to not allow him to do too much. Because it's a big stage, it's a big game, and we're asking him to do more. So he might try to do too much. So you balance that out, and that's coach's job. But we got to get to the rim. And I want LeBron James to back Rui's play like Anthony Davis backs yours as it pertains to Rui goes up. If he misses a shot, you're on the offensive glass for the tip in. That kind of thing. That's just what I want to see tonight. I want to see guys continuing, multiple guys looking to help each other in whatever way they can out there. Because at the end of the day, it's support and togetherness that's going to ultimately give us the best opportunity to get victories in this series. And as we get victories in this series, then we can have a leg to stand on as it pertains to whether or not we feel we can win anything. But as it pertains to just getting out of this particular hole, which is something we've done all year, it's going to be done together. The sum of our parts make us as good as we are. And not looking guys off. It was a lot of that in game 2. We talked about it. Guys not necessarily, Dennis Schroeder wanted to take a bad 3 because LeBron James took a 3 he wanted to pass for. No. And LeBron James needs to know that's exactly why Dennis Schroeder took that bad shot, is because you didn't pass him the ball when you should have. So these are the type of things like, look, we got to first be smart enough not to make certain mistakes like that make us a worse team. And the second thing we need to do is to make damn sure that we support one another enough so that never, ever has to be the case going forward in this series. We benefit from being back home. You know what I'm saying? This is purple and gold. This is our house. We got to protect that. Protect that like we would any other situation, no matter if it's the Western Conference Finals or a regular season game. The Denver Nuggets are coming into our house, and they should not feel comfortable here. They've already gotten 2 wins on our team. That's enough. They don't need no more wins on us. That's how we got to look at it. So we know them. They know us at this point. 2 games is a good enough sample size. Ain't no more fill-out process, none of that. We got to get out to a good start. We got to play better transition defense. We got to rebound the ball in intelligent ways, meaning know when to get back, know when to crash the glass. We got to throw multiple looks at Jokic. We got to put an adequate size matchup on Porter. You know what I mean? These are things that just have to be done. You cannot play around. You have to make sure that D'Lo's not put on players that are too fast for him right now defensively. Maybe even remove him from the series if he can't hit a shot. These type of things are serious. We got to have Austin Reeves be aggressive. Anthony Davis needs to be aggressive on both sides of the floor. We can't have mediocre Anthony Davis making an appearance tonight. It's a 3 game, right? It's odd. So we should be getting a good Anthony Davis tonight if this holds up, because he definitely played not his best in game 2. So these are things that we're looking at, man. It's like, yo, I'm looking forward to feeling like a winner again. Honestly, it ain't about. It's not about winning the series right now. It's about just getting a win in the series right now. And so that's what I'm hopeful our team will do. We got 30 minutes left before the game begins as of right now. And, togetherness, man. Togetherness and knowing that you've come too far to quit. And this Denver Nuggets team ain't going to quit either. So we're going to definitely have to stifle Jamal Murray by putting multiple looks. No. That's the wrong way of putting it. We got to put Vando on him. Okay, let's put Vando on Jamal Murray and keep him there until we don't see the Nuggets no more. That's basically what I say. We're at that point right now with Jamal Murray where he's killing us so bad that we got to close that hole. And it has to take precedence over other things in certain areas, in my humble opinion. If we can live with Vando's corner 3 tonight, maybe he hits 1 or 2 of them, that's cool. You don't want to live and die with that, but what I'm saying is we can't afford to only play him 11 minutes and expect to have any success against the Nuggets. I think it's a big part of why we haven't. It's because that Vando factor is just not being accounted for. He's big enough to guard some of these guys. He's wild enough defensively to create opportunities to break up that fantastic defense. And it was basically one of the main things that I thought was going to really help us in this series was having Vando out there a good portion of the time and wanting him to defend on one of those offensive players. You're only giving him 11 minutes a game throughout the series. That dynamic is huge. In terms of what it is we need to do. So we got to find a way to use Vando, and we can't let the excuse of his offensive deficiencies keep us from utilizing his defensive strengths. So that's definite, man. That needs to be said too. We're hitting the free throw very well in this series. For whatever it's worth, we've been shooting free throw very well. So I want to see that continue. We definitely want to give our guys kudos for that and just let them know that if we can keep that up, we will definitely feel a lot better about ourselves going forward. We don't want to take any steps back in the areas where we're doing well. And if you look at a full sample size, I think we've shot pretty well too when you consider the first game. I don't remember exactly how the stats were in terms of us shooting, but the second game, how did that go? I don't remember. But we scored 130-something points in the first game, so we had to have shot pretty well. That's how that went. We shot very well in the first game, and it kind of weaned off in the second game. But if you couple that with the Golden State Game 6, we have been shooting fairly well, I guess you can say. So I want to keep that up. So yeah, man, I don't know. I think if we lose tonight, we'll know exactly what it is that's going on here. But I think it's certain things we have to do based on not getting to the line enough, because clearly we're at home, so everybody's expecting us to get to the line a little more. So we got to get to the line more. We did in the last game well, so that's something we can say. And hopefully we'll be all right. I don't know who's reffing the game, so that's going to be a thing. Hopefully we'll get a good trio tonight, and I really don't want to go out sad. It's okay to lose. It's not okay to lose, but it's about how you lose. I don't think we've lost these 2 games in embarrassing fashion. I think that's one thing I can give my team as well. You hate that you embarrassed yourselves in moments in Game 2. Game 2. But ultimately, the game itself wasn't embarrassing. You only lost by 5. The first game, you had a situation of, you started slow, came back and roared back and had a chance to win. So it's like, we're keeping up with the Nuggets. We're not closing close games. We learn how to close games, and we keeping up. We're doing our thing. So let's win some close games at home. I don't expect for them to lay an egg. I do expect for the Nuggets to show some fatigue, some sign of fatigue, at some point. But I don't know. Maybe not tonight. So we just got to be ready. And if our guys are showing fatigue, if our guys are looking exhausted, we do have to use our guys, because we do have some very fresh legs, man. A guy like Wenyen Gabriel's fresh. You know what I mean? You ain't used him in weeks. That boy is ready to give you energy. Offensive rebounding, dunks, layups. He's going to hit his free throw, hopefully, maybe even hit a corner 3 or something. I think it's a mistake not using Wenyen Gabriel. I know he's not overly gifted, but he's also not a deficient player down there, especially when you consider the 6 fouls that he could throw at a guy like Jokic, or some of the defense he can play on Gordon, giving Bron a spell and what have you. So I just think he's a much better option than asking Bron to play the 5, or asking AD to play 48 minutes if we go in overtime or something like that. So Yeah, man, that's what it is. We got to get Bron some rest. He's taking on too much punishment too early in this series. He looked bad in game 2. If we can keep him under 38 minutes tonight, I think that'd be a good thing, man. If we can sneak away to keep him under 38 minutes. And plus, I think it'd probably be best, especially if he starts jacking up threes like he did in game 2. Let's just be honest. You got to manage the player, man. We can't afford to find ourselves in a situation where we're leaning on stuff that doesn't work. So this is the perfect time to end the video, given that it's at the 15-minute mark and we're 30 minutes away. So with that being said, go Lakers, man. Stay together, baby. I believe in you. I've been at this thing all year long and last year, every step of the way. We have far exceeded my expectations as a team. I am happy, I'm pleased, I'm proud, and I'm with you. So let's go. Let's go, LA. You know what I'm saying? Win or lose, I'm riding with the Lakers all day. BDL 44. I thank you all for watching.